to 108 Gate, where we're looking at the current energies flowing through. Current astrological energies are also going to be flowing through just because it is the way it is. It's just automatic that it happens that way. So you can benefit from certain configurations at different times if you choose to or not. Either way, let's go. So today the energy feels very much along the lines of improving on intuition, improving on instinct, improving on that flow. So when I've just slipped up and said today, it's today how certain things make no sense when it's that way, but they make sense this way. They make sense that way, but they make even more sense if you adjust it even more. So it's going into those nuances, going into the energies of the words, going into the energies of your thoughts, and seeing where can it make more sense, where does it not make sense, why does it not make sense. Now what feels to be coming in, I'm going to get these ones, start rolling these, is when we're looking at situations regarding others, and we've assumed so much of them, we've assumed so much of the situation, we've assumed people are doing things for our higher good, but they might not be. We'd assume someone's got a vendetta rate out against us, and they might not have. So just switching it around and going into the truth of the matter, going into the truth of what's actually there, allowing for judgment to be removed, allowing for the assumptions to be reduced, to be obliterated, to be released. Go into the silence. We had this one before. Going into the silence of things. Listen more and quiet be. Hear the silence. Let the silence reveal to you the truth of the matter. Let the silence reveal the questions we should be asking, and let go of the questions that we don't need to be holding on to. There are multiple different scenarios I could explain this would be appropriate for, or this would be related to. You take it on if you resonate with it, and just pick it apart a little bit, not to go down the rabbit hole and get stuck there, but to just start feeling the essence of when you're going into a judgment of someone or something, when you're going into an assumption of someone or something, just to pull self back and say, whoa, like let that actually reveal itself. Let the truth of it reveal itself before I start assuming that that person did this and this person did that, and that I should be doing this, but I should be doing that because someone said I should. Go into your truth, go into the truth of situations. It's quite a vast energy. It's a very, very empowering energy, because if you are assuming something and then you act accordingly to that assumption, that's going to veer you off your path possibly. The more you listen to where it's actually at, the more you will be aligned with self, letting the assumption go that way, letting the judgment go that way. You stay that way on your path, in alignment with yourself, in tune with where you're heading, in tune with your potential, in tune with the actual tune that makes sense for you, that resonates with your heart, that resonates with your essence, that resonates with your soul, which is correct for you. Enthusiasm, therefore, your enthusiasm, your motivation, your focus, your concentration, your consistency is going to improve. It can improve, it can be stronger, it can be more direct, it can be less of the flipping and flopping around and more of the tenacity and discernment that you require to get things done, to let go of other things. The more you're heading in your own direction, the more the stuff that you don't need and that you've just been holding on to, or that's been holding on to you, can be broken off, can be let go of easier, swifter, painless. So now I've said that, what's coming in is where we have felt like we can't get to a next point, we can't move on to the next stage, we can't get to the next level because it feels painful, because it may be that someone else is expressing pain of you moving on to the next level. Assess that. How much of it is actually beneficial? How much of it is codependency? How much of it is someone else expecting you to stay in a certain level with them? How much of it is you wanting to stay in a certain level with someone else because you're scared of the next step. You're not feeling prepared for the next step. This is a very direct energy, and if anything, it's going to amplify. It's going to amplify. I think it's the 11th today. So from what I'm understanding, this particular Lionsgate, kind of the portal was a lot more vibrant for a lot longer. So 12th, we've got another day to really hone in on these beautiful energies. Absolutely beautiful. Allowing in the realization, the answer is here. Take heed. This is the answer. More of you, more of you, more of you. It's not a selfish thing. It's more so, if you are being pushed in this direction, pulled that direction, you can't hone who you are. Therefore, you've got less of yourself to share. You can't be full if you're not filling yourself up. Therefore, you're depleted on what you are able to share. You're depleting the quality of what you are able to share. Therefore, harnessing what you are, harnessing who you are, harnessing how you are, harnessing why you are, but in the purest essence of yourself. It's such a beautiful, gentle energy that it really needs delicate hand, delicate approach, as if you're kind of floating in this energy with yourself, floating in the energy of yourself, around yourself, through yourself. It's with like light coming through, your own light illuminating yourself. Can you see it? Can you hear it? Another one coming out for this, and it is a grounding. You've got to bring it in, bring it and solidify it. It's not just a dream, it's not just an intention and then it's not seen through. It's have the intention to see it through, have the intention to be more of self, have the intention of understanding where, why, what, how, and let it be revealed rather than you go out to it. That sounds like a very projector way of doing it, but it's more to do with bringing in the silence, allowing the silence to speak. Okay, wow, okay. So I think it was yesterday's reading, there was 9 of Wands and it felt like a 9 of Swords because of the nature of the energy of it. We've actually got the 9 of Swords now being released. The 9 of Swords usually indicates how you stay up when you've been up worrying, or you can't sleep because you're stressing about this, stressing about that. How am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? Let that go. The more you let that go, the more you're going to have more of your truth, the more of your essence coming in, the more of your emotional fulfillment, emotional well-being to actually indicate to you where are you going. Because when you're feeling good and you're feeling positive and you're feeling motivated and you're feeling on track and you're feeling that level of security, emotional security, you can go on your path and you're going to have things magically appear, magically happen, as if by magic. But it's not really magic. It is magic and it's not magic. It's magic when we're looking at it from a certain perspective. It's not magic when you know that things can be alchemized, things can be shifted and changed. Letting go of, letting things fall away which are not part of the journey of going forward, which are not part of the essence of who you are going forward. If you're having clear out, perfect time to be doing it in a mindful manner. There's things that, yes, we need to hold on to because we can utilize later, but there's some things we just know, I don't need this, therefore it's got to go. So again, clearing your space of clutter, clearing your mind of clutter, clearing your energies of other people's clutter, where you've been pulled and pushed in the incorrect direction from self, where you've been pushed, your intuition, I'm going to say it again slowly because it feels really, really strong. Having done that, before we do that, let's get a masculine card for here. Excellent. See, there you go. That's why it's confirming exactly what I'm about to say. There you go. When we are pushed to do things in the wrong direction from self, we don't just create the energy of being pushed away from our authentic self. we also have to deal with, therefore, realigning with self and being misaligned from self. So there's like this whole chunk. It's not just a path and a path. It's all of this in between too. There's been misaligned. So there's an experiment or some, well, not experiment. There was certain photos into space, certain cameras and certain ways of capturing images from space. And from what I understand, from what I've heard, from what I've researched, that if the camera that supposedly caught the image of the black hole was even a fraction of a hair in the wrong direction, it would be, once it goes out, it would be in a completely different direction, facing in a different direction, and it wouldn't have seen the image that it saw. Because if you think about this point, yes, it may be just a fraction of a hair, but when you go out, the further out you go, the further away. So here it may be there, but then the gap between where you're supposed to be and where you're heading increases. So if you think about the point at the bottom of my hand, that's touching, and then it splits. But the more you go up the time, the energies and everything else, amplifying, the bigger the gap from your potential to where you've been pushed into. This is the point I'm making now. The pushing, the chariot, the two horses, pulling and pushing, where are you in the middle? What I mean by pushing is, if you are convinced by others to do things in a certain way, it may be social conditioning, it may be in your home, it may be because you went to the wrong careers teacher and they just didn't have the inspiration for you to have the aspiration that you did, or the ambition that you did, or they had a different plan for you. Whatever it is, you feel obligated to do what the other person is saying. You feel obligated to follow the social conditioning. You feel obligated because by laws or this or that or the other. I'm not condoning breaking laws. I'm saying there's certain things that you just feel obligated, that you have to do it because you're told to, because you're meant to do it to be accepted by A, B and C, to be part of a peer group. That is a different way of pushing. So usually we think about being pulled out of our comfort zone, being pulled away from our higher self. But this is about being pushed. Like, don't look that way. Just go this way, nudge this way, nudge this way, nudge this way. Before you know it, you've gone away from your centre. Feel your centre. Remember your centre. Remembering how, like, and assessing how many times have I been pushed and nudged away from myself. Bring it back, bring it back, bring it back. Come to your centre. Come to your centre. Therefore, honing the skills of navigating your journey, where it went out, to be able to bring it back in. Therefore, having different tools, different actions, different ways of doing it is almost like reverse engineering. And I'm saying almost like reverse engineering because there's going to be different factors involved because you are older now. So, for example, if you were going along this path at a certain age and you were kept and nurtured to stay on that path, and you had the comfort and the confidence to stay on your path, regardless of where other people were pushing you or pulling you, that would be a different point. So now, not only is it page of wands that this version of you would have been, but it's the page of wands now also having to find new ways of being and new actions to do to get back to there. Therefore, it's almost like course correction. And I'm saying almost like course correction because it's not necessarily the wrong course that you went on. It's just acknowledging why you got there, how you got there. Utilize that to heal yourself. Utilize that to shift. Okay, I did it that way before. Well, it didn't work out for me. Therefore, how will I do it this time? How can I shift and change that? Finding out the new ways, the page of wands, the new action to take to empower yourself instead of being pushed and pulled in other people's accordance. Love this reading. Hope it helped. Just even a smidgen, because that smidgen is the pinpoint that which you can start from. Love it. Love it. Hope you're all well. let me know where you are, and please, if you haven't already, subscribe. Join us here as regular as possible. And for now, peace and love.